talking about the Jeremiah case?
Yes, I mean,
I think what happened, I think, you know, to say that it is inexcusable to lose a child and then to lie about it, and then to listen to folks who tried to excuse it by saying they were too busy, it just doesn't compute. We have a record here that shows that not only were the social worker and her supervisor failed to do what they were supposed to do, but that they misrepresented it, so it couldn't have been caught higher up. There is a separate, serious issue about the level of staffing at DCF, and that's not a new issue. That's an issue we've been working on at DCF for some while. There are also indications, and I think this is what we talked about this morning with the child welfare legal, what we have been talking about with them for some while, that the case points to other weaknesses in the department that we're trying to look at and to determine whether they are in fact out of line with what best practices are in the best places elsewhere.
Governor, the report also highlighted that essentially over a year span, there's only about 81% of the visits were actually being made or statewide. Is that an acceptable level to you?
I don't know the answer to that. I mean, you know, is it acceptable to me? I want to say 100%. But the question, I think I'm right, that the stat was about home visits, not actual encounters with the children. Some children have encounters at school. They have other, I forget the term, collaterals? What's the collaterals? They have other collateral connections where the social workers have an opportunity to assess what kind of condition the child is in. And so I'm not in a position, this is why I said at the outset, we need people who actually know what they're doing to tell us what to make of the data that we have, or in fact whether we're collecting the right data, and that's why I think those are the ways in which I think the child welfare.
Is that one of the things you guys are red flagging, looking at that in particular?
Absolutely. You know, just on the red flagging on that point, so there are questions that have come from the Child Advocates report. There are questions that were asked in the course of the hearing. There were questions that have been asked by letters we've gotten. I think I spoke to Senator Tarr yesterday. He mentioned there was a letter that some of the senators had sent, I think to the auditor, that has specific questions in it. We have questions from the Senate chairs as well. And we've been trying to get all of those questions in one place to be sure, number one, that they are within the scope of the Child Welfare League's work, but also that those questions are specifically answered in their opening report. I think we feel pretty good that they are within the scope, but we want to make sure that they're specific.
Governor.